Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, in the Immortal Hulk issue number 11. Another insane Alex Ross cover, man. And yes, that's what the Hulk looks like throughout the entirety of this comic issue. From when he was he just looks emaciated the entire time, man. Oh my, this is a crazy comic book, and I love this. All right, let's get into this. Let's take a trip into hell. All right. This World, Our Hell is what this book is called. Al Ewing is the writer. Joe Bennett is the penciler. Roy Jose is the inker. Paul Mounts is on colors. VC's Corey Petit letters. Alex Ross does the cover, and Phil Noto does the variant cover. The Hulk was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. I read this comic book, and I've been thinking about reading more of Al Ewing's blogs, his little blogs that he does, the Hulk blogs, whatever they are, on Twitter. He puts them out. They're actually on Tumblr. You can access them through Twitter, though. I looked at the most recent one. It was just an image. That's it, just a picture. I don't know. I didn't go like deep into it because I'm just trying to do this review based on what I've read here. But I might start checking out his stuff more, especially if they're just pictures. It's easy enough to go and check. I don't have to like start researching what somebody's writing. I'd rather do that after the series ends, or at least after this huge arc ends, because this is deep, man. Like, I feel that this is the book that Al Ewing was meant to write. And again, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name correctly. But this book is crazy, man. You want to talk about a trip through hell. And here's the funny thing about it. I know that a lot of people are going to try and compare this to Dante Alighieri. Dante's The Divine Inferno. And, yeah, he had a little trilogy of books. You know what I'm saying? He had a nice trilogy of books. Most people are familiar with Dante's Inferno. And several sayings inside there. Oh, yeah, this definitely has a lot of those vibes. But there's a backdrop to this. There's a backing story to this where the Inferno is just the main thing that we see up front, but I could see what's behind the scenes. Not exactly. I don't have private audience with Mr. Ewing at all. I'm not arguing that, but I'm looking at the overall picture and where this could possibly go. Like, I'm playing chess in my head with this game. With this book. And I'm seeing something in the background. And I'm seeing more of John Milton in this. All right, Paradise Lost. Another trilogy of books. Or was it two? Shit, it was two. Two books. But, oh man, this is what I'm seeing here, dude. There's a conversation in here. And I don't know who the narrator is, but I'm positive the narrator is actually a person who we're going to meet. And I think that the suggestion is that this is the one below all that we're talking about. Guys, if you've been only getting these on digital, I can't fault you for that, you know? Can't. But the next issue you need to get on physical copy because they're going to introduce us to the one below all. If you're familiar with the one above all, this is going to be the one below all. And I have a feeling this is going to be a hell of a trip. Sorry for the pun. No more of those. I promise. What is her name? McGee. The reporter McGee is walking with the Hulk in hell. Because it sucks to be alone in hell, man. So she's walking and the Hulk goes and asks her, how do I get to be what you are? Which, if you remember, is the question that she asked him after he defeated Sasquatch and absorbed the hell that was in him. What do you call it? He allowed her to ask one question, and he didn't even answer it. But this is the question that she asked: how do I get to be like you? And she briefly explained, when I was a kid, you destroyed my house, and I never felt more vulnerable in my life, and all of that stuff, It was a beautiful beginning to a story that I was upset that it didn't go anywhere afterwards. Well, I guess now that we're in hell, we've got all the time in the world to talk, so let's talk about it. Yay, thank you, because man, this conversation got so good. Now her question still wasn't necessarily answered. I have a feeling this is going to be a question that goes on for a while. And I really hope that it does. I hope that's kind of what Ewing has planned. But either way, I'm going to be reading the hell out of it regardless. Oh, crap. There's another. Okay, I didn't mean that pun. But she goes and asks, he goes and asks her, what did you mean by that exactly? Like, why would you ask that kind of question of all? I mean, like, do you think that, you're the only person who's ever asked me that question? You want to go to hell because, or you want to, be the Hulk because, rah, and I'm thinking he's going to get into the idea. It's like, these are two different personalities. Banner isn't in control of me. This is Banner unleashed with power. You sure this is what you really want? Your loved ones being destroyed? You got to stay away from everybody? Like, is this really... I was hoping he was going to get into that. No, he didn't even bother. He let her explain. And he was fascinated by her argument. Her assessment that, not just the idea I want to be able to get mad and get powerful. No, I want to be like you. I want to be able to be validated for my anger. And you think about that. Especially when we were kids, but even as we're adults, if we get angry in public over something, it doesn't matter what was happening, so if you're a female and a guy's harassing you, you view it as harassing and you tell him to go away and he doesn't, and you get mad and you start screaming, just get away from me. You're the one who's looked at like, a weirdo, right? If somebody keeps bothering me and I'm telling, I'm trying to walk away and he keeps on following me and all that stuff, it's kind of illegal to punch somebody in the mouth over something as, silly as that, but is what it is. But if you get mad and just like, dude, stop following me. What the hell's the matter with you? The public in general will be like, oh, what's this guy's problem? Because nobody wants to be bothered by your anger because everybody feels safe, which I think is silly because we see some of the things that happen in the world. We see some of the things that happen just in America. Somebody gets really mad and they're a little bit unstable. We've lost that sense of self, that survival instinct, that when somebody gets mad, oh, there are laws protecting us from him actually or her actually hurting me. Laws are a consequence for what you do. Laws don't protect you. You know what I'm saying? That's something that really should be understood. Laws are not actually meant to protect anyone. They're meant to keep a people in check. And if somebody decides to ignore that law, it'll probably be in a fit of rage, right? So yeah, we that's something that we've lost as humans. But she goes and points out your rage, your anger is validated because of your strength. She's, like, your friends always forgive you. He's like, they shot me into space, right? Which is the most valid point that the Hulk could make. And she immediately dismisses that. Says, yeah, they shot you into space as opposed to shooting you. She kind of made a pun there. A little double entendre, right? And it was fascinating. I was fascinated sitting there reading this perspective. I love philosophy, man. I love just being able to sit down and look at actual philosophy, not just somebody, spewing crap from their mouth. I enjoy actual philosophy, and that's what I'm reading here, and it's great. She says, they didn't kill you, and there's the idea of Hawkeye. No, remember, Hulk did that. Banner did that. Not Hawkeye, all right? Not the Avengers. That wasn't something that was planned by somebody else. Hawkeye had to be talked into that. This is great. From beginning to the end, this is great. Puck is in this. And his conversation with Crusher Creel, the Absorbing Man. This is the way I've always wanted Puck to be written. Yeah, I need to see some action from Puck. I need to see him kicking somebody in the teeth. I need to see a cartwheel attack where he just bowls right through, 6 or 7 baddies. I need to see that. But for right now, oh man, this is the Eugene Judd that I've been wanting to read again for a really long time. This is deep. This is like when he first got possessed by Razor, or not first, but when it was later on he was possessed by Razor, and we actually got to see his origin story. Damn it, dude. This is amazing. This is just such good writing. Puck is written like a person who was born back in 1922. A guy with some sagely wisdom. He's not an ancient old one or anything like that. but he is a really ridiculously old guy. You know what I'm saying? Born right after the quelling of World War II. You know, right when the Ottoman Empire was beginning its dismantling. You know, man, this is a crazy good issue. Everything about this issue is fantastic, and if you're not getting this issue, man, I don't know where you are in life. I don't know where you are in your mind. But brother, this is, sisters, this is an amazing book. The things that these people have to face, these demons they have to face. And at the end, that conversation, man, that Westworld-esque conversation, when you, they say there were two. They said there were two fathers. But then you realize that you're just looking up at your reflections. I can't remember exactly how the thing went, but that eerie as hell speech that was given, whew, that's what I'm getting. That's the vibes I'm getting throughout this whole book, man. This is great. Again, make sure you get the next issue in physical copy. If you don't, it's on you, dude. I believe that is going to be a major first appearance of a character who we're probably not going to see a whole lot of. How many issues do we really have with the one above all? I hope and I imagine we're going to get a whole lot less of the one below all. So each one will count, especially the first appearance. Guys, that's going to be it from me, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.